In this video, I'll show you how to use Hue to manage user access to a table. You can use this example to see how Sentry can grant or block access to sensitive data from users. To do this, you must have Sentry running on your cluster. For this example, I'll create two users in Hue that correspond to Unix users on my system. The usernames I'm using are Impala and TestUser1. Impala has Sentry administrative privileges and TestUser1 doesn't. If you want to do this yourself, you'll also need two users, one Sentry administrative user and one non-administrative user. The administrative user, Impala, belongs to an admin group in Sentry. You can view the Sentry admin groups by opening the Sentry service, opening the Configuration tab, and searching for groups. My Impala user belongs to the Impala group you can see here. My TestUser1 user belongs to the TestUser1 group, which is not a Sentry admin group and isn't listed here. Next, let's create our Hue users. Open the Hue service. Click Web UI and select Hue Load Balanced. The first user that logs into Hue becomes the first admin user. That user and the Cloudera Manager user have the same credentials. My Cloudera Manager user is admin, so I'm logging into Hue as admin. I'll create the Hue Impala user first. Go to the User menu in the top right corner and select Manage Users. Click Add User. My username is Impala. The Impala user will use these credentials to log into Hue. Click Add User to create the user. Next, I'll create TestUser1. Again, TestUser1 will use these credentials to log into Hue. Now that I've created my users, I'm going to log out of Hue and log back in as the Impala user that I just created. Click Admin, Sign Out, and sign back in as Impala. First, let's look at the tables we'll be working with. I have two sample tables I'll use for this example, customers and web logs. I can do a select star command for each table to view the data in the table. First, I'll do a select star from customers and click the arrow to execute the command. As you can see, the Impala user can view the data in the table. Next, I'll do a select star from web logs. Again, the Impala user can view the data in the table. Since my Impala user is a Sentry admin user, it can view the data in both of these tables. You can see that I'm using the Impala editor for this example, but you can also use Hive or another editor to do this. Now I'm going to log out of Hue as Impala and log back in as TestUser1 to see whether it can view the tables. Click Impala and sign out. And log back in with the TestUser1 credentials that I created. As TestUser1, I'll do another select star from the customers table. As you can see, test user 1 can't view the data in the customers table. I'll try again with web logs. Because test user 1 isn't a Sentry admin user and I haven't given it a role with privileges, it can't see the data in either table. Now I'll log back in as my Impala user. I can use the Impala user to create a role for the group that test user 1 belongs to, and I can grant privileges for that role. Log out as test user 1 and log back in as Impala. First, let's create a role for test user 1. I'll enter the command create role test role. Then I'll map that role to the test user 1 group with this command grant role test role to group test user 1. Now my test user 1 has the test role. I can grant or revoke privileges to that role. I'll give the test user 1 group select privileges on my sample customers table. I can do this with the command grant select on table customers to role test role. Now I'll make sure the test user 1 can see the customers table. I'll log out as the Impala user, and I'll log back in as test user 1. I'll do another select star on the customers table. As you can see, test user 1 can now view the data in the customers table. Let's try to look at the web logs table. Test user 1 still can't view the web logs table because the test user role doesn't have that privilege. We've successfully granted table access to the customers table for test user 1. For more information about using Sentry and Hue to manage access to data, view the Cloudera documentation at www.cloudera.com/documentation.html. Thank you.